Welcome to the Positive Pants Podcast. Mindset, motivation, and inspiration to help you find your positive pants. Let go of negative thinking and stop living for the weekend. With your host, Fran Excel.
Welcome to the show. As always, it's Fran Excel, Mindset Coach, helping you find your very own pair of positive pants so you can get out of your own way and live a life that you love. So today's episode is also a request. There's a huge amount of you out there who are still in your jobs or have a part-time job or whatever it may be and trying to get your business off the ground. And it can be tough. It can be seriously tough. But there are a lot of ways to make it a lot easier on you. So here's how to be happier in your job so your business can finally take off. So here we go. How you can and why you need to be more positive in your job. I feel pretty passionate about this subject because I wholeheartedly believe that no one should or has to be miserable for 70% of their waking life, which is the amount of time you spend at work. So do you, which is why you're trying to achieve the big stuff, why you're trying to start your businesses or thinking about starting your businesses. I wholeheartedly believe that the longer you continue to feel negatively about your situation or your job, it can be other things, the longer and harder it will be before you actually achieve anything that you're proud of. I always say it, but you will feel like you're trying to push water uphill. Just think about it. Who wants to invest in a negative Nelly? Who wants to be part of a group or a team led by a negative Nelly? It's dangerous and it's toxic and it breeds even more toxicity and it makes life hard, so much harder than it needs to be. So as we know, because you're here finding your positive pants, negativity really does affect all areas of your life. It starts to spill out into all areas of your life. Think about this too. When you see a friend and they ask how you are, what's your reaction? What do you say? Is it an instant moan-a-thon about all the things you can't stand about your life at the moment and how everything's going wrong for you and woe, it's me? When someone behaves like that towards you, how do you feel? Do you enjoy being around them? And the likelihood is that your friends and loved ones feel the same about you right now. So we need to get that sorted, and we can get that sorted. So why do you need to do this to get your business taking off? So let me tell you, my friend. So you won't need to jump ship before you're ready and go straight into scarcity mode. So you don't quit on the business you've been setting up because you're self-sabotaging and all you're seeing is the negatives and reasons that it won't work. So you're procrastinating and not taking the action. So you won't be miserable every single morning that you wake up with that feeling like it's Groundhog Day and you're peed off before anything's even happened. And also, so you won't ruin Sunday nights anymore, am I right? Sound good? It's all 100% possible and simple to do, but it does take time and effort. So how much do you want this? So here's a few of my favorite ways that you can feel happier in your situation now. So reframe it. Reframing, as if you've been with me for a while, you will know is one of my favorite tools and one I use daily without even having to try. It's a habit that I have now. Something bad happens, I reframe it. It's just a natural thing. So the more you practice this, the more that'll happen. So pick one negative aspect of your job right now. How else could you look at it? How could you turn it into a positive, a lesson, or an opportunity? Yeah. Here's a couple of examples for you. So I reframed my 2-hour commute from a massive waste of time. I was super resentful of losing that time and losing that money every single month. It was something I was dreading every single day and I couldn't see a single good thing about it. So I asked myself the questions and I reframed it into my learning zone. So in my learning zone, I had 4 uninterrupted hours per day, 20 hours per week where I was learning. I now love learning. I read about 100 books a year. I took various courses on Udemy, listened to hundreds of podcasts. Think about the person you are now and the person you'll be after all of that. Yeah. So then all of a sudden it was a hugely positive thing for me and something that I loved. I knew I wouldn't necessarily take that amount of time for reading and learning if I was at home. I would have probably had an extra 2 hours in bed instead. What can I say? So the next thing is gratitude. As you know, gratitude is one of my favorite things in the world. It literally changes the physiology of your brain. So Thankful Thursdays is one of my most popular and well-loved days of the week in the Facebook group for good reason. It will always give you the warm and fuzzies. And who doesn't want that? Gratitude is the opposite of fear and anxiety, and also what's known as an intervention in positive psychology. So you don't see so many people talking about it because it's some wishy-washy mumbo jumbo. Oh God, just go be gratitude, go have some gratitude, all that sort of stuff. This stuff works, and it can and will completely shift around your thinking if you create a regular practice. So what are you grateful for about your job right now? What friends do you have that you wouldn't have met had you not been there? What does working there allow you to do that you wouldn't normally be able to? What does your salary allow you to do? You know, it's your investor in your business, right? So it allows you to do these amazing things. Where does it allow you to go? Literally list every single thing you can think of to be grateful for about your job and keep adding to it, because they are there. No matter how much you think you hate it, there are a lot of things that you will like. Keep a rolling list on your phone. Keep looking for that just one more thing to be grateful for and see how you get on with that. So next thing is, I want you to practice self-care. Now, this is a seriously easy one to put on the back burner or forget to do altogether. But we have to make sure that we're doing this as much as we can. So eat well so you have energy. Drink water so your brain is fully fueled. Get enough sleep and exercise. Do things that make you happy. In short, just look after yourself. Yeah? You can't drink from an empty cup. And I want you to remember the aeroplane analogy of always fit your own oxygen mask first before trying to help others. Yeah? Listen to your body and your thoughts and know when you need to take a break. Do something good just for you when you need a little me time. You know, your body is always telling you these things. You just need to start listening. So the next one I have is pick up a hobby and learn. Now, when you're stuck in you're on a bad day mode, which as you will know, I am very familiar with, you need to create things that you're looking forward to. And also things that can give you a sense of achievement and keep your brain nice and engaged by getting out of that old, that boring old autopilot mode and trying something new. When I did this in a full-time job, I managed to retrain as a silversmith. And I just did it every single Wednesday for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks through a course in Hatton Garden in London. And it meant that I felt that sense of purpose in my life again. I felt that sense of achievement, kept my brain young. That sense of doing something and being something more than the job that wasn't lighting me up anymore. There's also works for scheduling in that me time category. So taking the time to do something just for you that you really love. So you're already learning while you're setting up your business, but this is important from both angles, because there will be moments that you're self-sabotaging yourself in your business, that you lose the sense of achievement that you need to keep going. This will remind you of what you can achieve, and it will be fun at the same time. I'm always telling people in your journal, list all the things that you've told yourself you couldn't do that you now can. When you're in that horrible mode in your business where things are taking longer than you want them to and all that sort of stuff, this will really help with that. Next one, guess what? Meditation or mindfulness, which is kind of the same thing depending on how you look at it. So meditating is like having a little power nap in the middle of the day. It will make you more calm when things are frustrating you in your day. It will allow you more time to have the best reaction you can to any situation. It literally makes your brain work better together, the left and the right hemispheres. If you don't have the time or space to go all in and meditate, then just take a couple of minutes to practice some mindful techniques, because mindfulness is a form of meditation. Yeah, it's just a particular type. There are millions of different types. So focus on your breathing for 1 minute. Do a body scan from head to toe, or activate each of your senses one at a time. And then go back to the episode on why mindfulness isn't woo-woo, and there are a ton of techniques in there for you. The next one is take a walk. Yeah, if you're the kind of person that sits at your desk through lunch, you need to move. Even if it's just for 10 minutes, walk without having to get somewhere and breathe some air that isn't that stagnant office air, and see how you feel. And the next thing is stop attaching other people's opinions of you to your opinion of yourself. Yeah, let that one sink in. When you're in an office, you can get so caught up in what people think of you. This is completely human. You know, you just need to make sure it's the right people whose opinion you're caring about. Next time you get triggered by something a colleague says or does, ask yourself, does it really matter? Do you really care what they think of you? Will you care in a month's time, a week, tomorrow, in an hour? Just because they think something of you doesn't make it true. So asking yourself these questions will help you snap out of that triggered state so you can get back to doing your thing. And another one, now this one is tougher. Ignore the office politics and don't take part in the gossip. It's just going to bring you down, so don't do it. I know how hard that one is because let's be honest, gossip is fun sometimes, right? But it really does bring you down because it lets those thoughts into your head of, well, hang on a minute, if they're saying this about that person, then what are they saying about me? And there's no point waking up that mind gremlin. There's just not. So the next one is journal. Whoop, whoop. 100% my favorite technique for this and why it forms such a huge part of my work with clients and what I teach. So you literally can write your way to new neural pathways in just 5 minutes a day. Whoop, whoop. So if you're new to listening, here's mine. Here's what I do every day. I write down 3 things that you're grateful for, 3 things that are good that happened today, random acts of kindness, how many nice things I did for people, how many people I made smile, what I want and by when, and what I'm looking forward to tomorrow. So I've got a ton of other episodes on journaling. So go and listen to those because seriously, 5 minutes a day. You can see how these start to shift your thought processes throughout your day and even through to the evening. So it's an amazing way to start or end your day and always keeps you looking for all those positives. This literally changed my life in 5 minutes per day. And before you say it, you can find 5 minutes. I hear you making those excuses of not having any time. But if you want to change the way you think, you have to put the work in. You can find 5 minutes. It's just whether you choose to or not. So the next one sounds a little odd, but I used to do this in the car on the way to back. And honestly, it does help. So stick with me. When you smile, you activate muscles in the face that sends the brain the message that you're happy. And it releases all those lovely happy hormones and chemicals and neurotransmitters that send that same message all around your body. So you end up feeling good. It's easy peasy, feels weird, but it's worth a try, right? So the next thing I want you to think about is creating a morning routine. So what's the first thing you do in the morning? Check your phone, your emails. How do you feel? I try to make sure I don't check my notifications and emails until I'm properly up and at 'em and out the door. You know, I always think of the 3 things I'm grateful for as well. First thing in the morning, write them down if you want to go one better. But I am an evening journaler. So you can make it one of the first things you do and really set your intentions for the day ahead. So that's another way to use it. And if you have time, you can do some yoga or exercise and get those endorphins pumping. You know, even if it's just 10 minutes of stretching every day, there are so many studies to prove what an effect that has. And I also try and make sure that I meditate even for a few minutes. And when you're stupidly busy, all of these things will set you up for actually handling that and your day in a much better way. So those are a few of my favorite ways to be happier in your job so your business can finally take off. Remember that life is too short to live for the weekend and wish your life away waiting for retirement. You know you don't want that for yourself, and that is why you're working so hard to change it. But you do have to take the action to change it. You get one life, one opportunity to live it. So stop holding yourself back and self-sabotaging on going after the thing you do want. You know you want this and you know you can do it. The evidence is there. You see other people doing it. We've just got to get you taking the action. Be honest about where you haven't been putting the effort in. But if you did, it would make things so much better for you. Remember that you do get a choice in how you feel and how you react to things. Use these tools and techniques to shift your thought processes and create the amazing business that you know you could if you just got out of your own way. These things, it's a skill that you have to master. It takes time and it takes practice, but if you're committed to achieving it, then you absolutely will. But the more you get rid of these negative thoughts and feelings throughout your day in your job, the more you're going to feel the positive feelings when you're working on your business. You need to have this positivity. Your positive pants need to be pulled on, pulled up, on. So I hope that was really helpful. As always, I will see you next week. Bye.